G'day viewers, this week for Totally Fucked Up Friday, it had to be an end of the world edition, right?
Ba-ba.
So what we have done is look up some of the most fucked up examples of people actually taking the 2012, the end of the world, seriously. And I'm going to try and get this up before the deadline. So, gosh, won't I look silly if it actually happens after... Yeah, no, because I'll be dead.
Wait, you have egg on your face.
Yeah.
One man in Phoenix keeps 1,000 fish in the deep end of his swimming pool.
Hang on. Can I just interrupt this? The deep end of his swimming pool.
The deep
Do
end,
they
not
know
the shallow
not to go to the shower, or is there a net? Or I'm curious about this in the deep
We
end
need
of
to
the shower.
ask him. I kind of want to contact him.
Anyway.
Which he plans to eat when the massive solar flare is going to, and I quote, knocks civilization back to the Stone Age.
Now, here's my thing. Isn't he going to get sick of fish? Why doesn't he have some chickens in the shallow end of his pool?
Yeah.
And the other thing is a massive solar flare, right? Isn't that going to create, like this massive heat wave, and the fish will all boil, and he'll only have
Well, then they're already cooked and he's ready to go.
Well, yeah, but they won't last very long unless he's got a freezer. I mean, at one point
And he
when
won't
they're
have a
alive.
freezer because the solar flare will knock out the electric grid.
So yeah, you'll have a couple of days
choice.
of fish, but you'll have to eat it really quickly or it will just go
I'm
off.
thinking maybe you should have bought 1,000 tins of tuna.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that makes considerably
And
more sense.
and then you could mix it up and have your flavoured tuna and your chicken in a
like
can
a lemon
and your salmon in a can and I agree with you.
You can
I
buy
think
lots of things in cans these days. People.
I'm not saying the apocalypse people are stupid, but they're stupid.
they're stupid. A couple living in a gated home with 25,000 rounds of ammunition and enough food to last for half a century.
Now, here's what I want to happen to them. I want them to have a small fire in their house that explodes there, and they get killed in the just explosions of ammunition going on.
Yeah, I don't wish death on anyone, and I'm going to. But what I hope happens is, this has all been advertised now on the news site. So if the end of the world does happen, there's a really nice compound somewhere which has heaps of ammunition, 50 years worth of food. Just go there. They'll look after you.
Yeah, it'll be like The Simpsons charging Ned Flanders as bomb
Yes.
shelter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once people know, you're screwed. You're not a very good survivalist if you told anyone.
You shouldn't tell anybody.
Megan Hurrett from Houston practices fleeing the city every day by foot in case of an oil crisis.
That's awesome.
That's really good training. She'll end up being able to run the New York Marathon next year because of this.
She will.
Everyone's going to go, Megan, are you jogging? No, fleeing the apocalypse. Why don't you just tell people you're jogging? You're crazy.
Yeah.
And look, I think it's good that she's actually doing it on foot, because if anyone has actually watched like something like The Walking Dead or any of these apocalypse type shows, you're going to see that the highways and the freeways and everything are piled up with cars, and you can't get out in the car. So doing it on foot is actually quite a smart move. Good on you, Megan. Kudos for the thoughts.
Every Doomsday movie that you see, it's always a bridge packed full of cars, and somehow one of those asteroids always hits the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she should also be practicing her swimming as well, because to get through the gorge where the bridge, where everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she can go in the triathlon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So she's on a winner. She's going to be the fittest apocalypse nut out there.
Yeah. Tim Railston, an ex-military man living in Arizona, has a garage full of food, water purifiers, weapons, a trailer full of essentials ready to be hooked up to the family car should disaster strike. And in fact, he also takes his 2 sons out to the desert for target practice once a week, and one of his sons has been practicing with an AK-47.
Hey, that's just general preparedness, as in, I'm the crazy person no one in town wants to talk to. So
I'm really... this sort of thing frightens me. Like, it's one thing to dig a hole in your backyard and fill it with cans of tuna, or put a bunch of fish in your swimming pool or all that, or practice running out of town. But I'm sorry, I have real issues with children and guns in situations that aren't sort of necessary, like maybe living on a farm and that sort of thing. And
And
teaching
now come the
your
gun nuts.
kid to shoot an AK-47. Oh dear.
I have a nice quote from him.
Yes,
Oh,
good.
tell us.
Okay, you just never know. God put you on this earth for certain things. And for me, it's to make sure my family lives and I can help other people.
Oh well, he wants to help other people, so
Oh, well, that's nice.
let's give him kudos and also not be too harsh on someone who has shitloads of guns and shoots them all the time.
Here's one that I really, really like. His name is Robert Vincino. Sorry if I'm pronouncing anyone's names wrong. Robert Vincino, a real estate agent, is garnering a significant profit from fears by building luxury bunkers for people.
See? That's smart right
That
there.
is smart right there. You
And
know?
I have a picture of his luxury bunker, and I'm telling you, it's quite a pretty bunker.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's much nicer than my house.
I'll link to a luxury bunker. And we were discussing this as well in that multiple failed Rapture dude.
Yeah.
His last ones last year, 2011, that a few people fell for. There was some dude advertising, hey, if you're going to be raptured, I'll look after your pets. Just give me a non-refundable deposit. And he apparently packed in heaps of coin. But yeah, this whole survival stuff, people are making serious money.
Yeah, you know, if I had no heart and I was, you know, sort of hell-bent on exploiting people and all that stuff, could have made a killing. There are so many people out there. And I think it's safe to say, and I'm sorry if this comes off like I'm a racist, which I really am not, I don't think we could actually make this kind of money off this sort of thing in Australia. I think people are a little bit smarter and a little bit less quick to jump to this mass hysteria of the end of the world panic.
Oh no, you want to do a Google search on Australian Survivalist and
maybe it's a
Queensland.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Here we
and
go.
I was going to go to stereotypes and suggest it's Queensland, but if I remember correctly, this guy's from right here in Melbourne. Let's hear about this guy.
I stand
Melbourne
corrected and I
represent.
hang my head in shame for fellow Melbourneites. And
I don't think we have as much of a hysteria in this country about it, though. Like,
and that was my point. It's the hysteria of it, and it's the
there's
profiting
no
of it.
hysteria here.
There's a smaller
There's
number
like a
of people
couple.
to profit off, but they
There's
are
very
out there.
They are out there. And this guy is perfectly willing to spend big. 46-year-old Robert Bast of Melbourne has spent $350,000 preparing for the end of the world. This is a quote from him. What is certain is that in my lifetime, there is a strong likelihood that there will be a catastrophe of some kind.
Okay, let's just stop there. What is certain is that there's a strong likelihood.
Okay, that alone makes me want to punch him. It's just
Certainly
like
maybe.
yeah, certainly maybe. It's like Sex Panther. 40% of the time it works every time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, those things don't go together. There's not certainly and maybe.
This is
maybe.
a great definition of an oxymoron. I mean, it just makes the two terms do not correlate. They don't work. You can't have something that's a definite maybe.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Fire, no.
Yeah. And what's his list of things that definitely maybe might happen?
Definitely maybe.
For sure. Absolutely. Definitely going to happen. Your
Maybe.
phone died.
My phone crapped out. Thank you, technology. The end of the
The
world,
end of the world is coming.
And
See,
the way
that's
the
what
world
we
is upon
get
us
for
because
being
I'm
too
gonna Hulk
smart.
out. I'm gonna Hulk out because my phone crapped out. That's why the world's gonna end.
We were up to what this guy is prepared for.
Yeah, all the different possibilities
All the different
that are
possibilities.
definitely maybe going to happen in our lifetime.
All right, definitely maybe the sun destroying power grids. So this is a direct quote. He says, "The sun destroying power grids. How? It just is."
It is
Because
the sun
technically
is
possible.
powerful.
Well, a solar flare is technically capable of actually destroying radio systems, power grids, etc. It's technically possible. So this guy's gone from there is a very tiny possibility of something actually happening to it's definitely going to happen.
It's gonna happen one day. It's gonna be upon us. A flu pandemic that kills millions.
Okay, again,
Technically could happen. I mean, we had swine flu, we had SARS, we've had all these sort of things, you know, and there are possibilities that a worldwide epidemic of flu or Ebola or anthrax or something could, you know, come out and kill us all. That's, you know, there's a possibility.
To me, the hilarity is his plans won't do shit in a circumstance like that. Because by the time you realise there's a problem, if you're living in a city, it's probably already too late to flee to your country estate. But
28 days later,
you know,
you're all
hey,
zombies.
yeah, exactly.
An asteroid or meteor or comet striking the Earth.
And again, technically possible.
We have meteorites hitting the Earth like all the time.
Yeah.
And comets whizzing past and all this. And it would really just take one comet on a trajectory that would hit us, that we would, you know.
And it's like, okay, the little flaws in his plan, let's assume it happens. First, he's assuming he's going to know when and where the cataclysmic impact happens. And second, he's saying, okay, I can't be in Melbourne, but if I go 1 hour up in the country, I'll be fine. Do you know how cosmic debris works, you idiot?
He also thinks that there is going to be a magnetic pole shift.
Again, people just throw stuff out there like the poles are shifting. Events make them shift with little spurts, but just... And it's like...
It's just going to go...
What? And moving up the country is going to do what? You idiot!
Yeah, it's this idea of, you know, okay, these things could happen, but moving... It's not going to actually save you.
If you think the world's going to end, accept your fate.
Yes,
look, seriously.
And that's the other thing. Like,
don't go Jonestown and drink the magic Kool-Aid. Just accept your fate.
But you
if
know
the world's
what
going down in a blaze of glory, go down with it.
And also, you know, I was saying this before. If the world does end, okay, if something does happen, a solar flare, a flu pandemic, a meteorite, whatever, and there are a few people that have been survived down in their bunkers. You know, we see this in movies, in books, in ethical discussions, in all sorts of things, this idea of survivor's guilt. If you survive it and you come out of your bunker when everything's safe and everything, and you've got nothing but death and destruction, your family is dead, your friends are dead, there is nothing, there is no food, there is no clean water, there is, you know, radioactive crap everywhere. There's what kind of a life is that? You may have survived, but really, I'm one of the people that says I'd much rather just go in the Big Bang, see where that ends up, see where I end up, whether there's a, you know, another plane of existence, a heaven, a hell, we're just dead, that's it, we all become part of the universe, back to star parties, whatever.
A learning process rather than
why not just
sticking in your own
I would feel really... I think the fear and the paranoia and the angst and the mental anguish of losing everything and anyone, but I survived. Survived into what?
Yeah.
Look,
What's going to be there?
We could pin that down to our collective moral for the end of the world story is don't do this insane shit, because all that happens is you get held up as the example of how totally fucked up humanity can be. Okay, Doomsday clock counting down.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.